So my name is Clay Dolan. My business is Escarpment Magazine, and we are located in the beautiful village of Clarksburg. The magazine itself has been in business for, I think we're coming up on 35 years. It's gone through a few different changes in that time. It started off as Collingwood Condo and Chalet, and then it was Collingwood Condo and Chalet and Home, and then it was Southern Georgian Bay Living, and then we changed it to Escarpment Magazine in 2006. There are so many reasons why we chose Clarksburg. First off, as it's referred to as Artsburg, and when we're putting a magazine together, we really consider it a piece of art. Like it really is. It's maybe not your traditional, paint and paper art form, but it is art. From the art on our covers, the photography is artwork. Writing is really an art as well. It's something that I always struggle with, so I like to stick to the photography side. And then obviously putting it all together really takes an artist's keen eye, and thankfully we have Susan Meingast who does that for us, and she's an artist herself in the painting world, and just a wizard putting the magazine together. Yeah, and being in Clarksburg with all these creative minds all around us, I think really helps inspire what we do. My parents bought their first place in the area the year I was born, 1978. It was a cottage in Brophy's Lane, and so I've grown up here every weekend, all summer long. It was always, this area was always home, and we, living in Kitchener-Waterloo, that's just where we went to school. But this place was always home, and one of my best friends, I don't know, I was like 13 maybe. Lived in Thornbury, and I can remember in those days, we'd get on our bikes and we cruise down to Clarksburg, and it just seemed so far away. And coming down into Clarksburg always just seemed like a different world. Like it's so close yet so distinctly different. And I feel it's still like that today. Like it still has that charm, and it's a creative community, and it's so different than anywhere else. Like go along the street here, and where else in Ontario do you see so many art galleries and creative people all in one little place? I've been working full-time with Dina since 2006, is when I came on with the magazine full-time, and together we grew the magazine and kind of changed its appearance, its scope. And so when Dina, I purchased it from Dina in 2016, and it was just a natural fit. I'd been doing it for 10 years at that point. I knew the industry. I knew how to produce a beautiful magazine. I mean, Dina taught me how to do that. So it was a no-brainer for me to continue on with this, and the magazine's more successful than it ever has been. So it's been a great business, and it's been a lot of fun. It's been challenging at times, but there's nothing else I can see myself doing right now. We really try to be different than everyone else. It's so easy to get caught up in the competition, like the local competition, and we really don't look at that. We look beyond what's happening locally, and we look at national publications and international publications and what we like about them, and try to incorporate some of those ideas. But straight off the bat, our cover is the first thing people see. It was painted by Dina for many, many years, and this latest issue is our third with a new cover artist. So we're featuring a different cover artist every issue, and then doing an incredible feature on them within the magazine. So continuing with the arts is really important for us. So that's number one, the cover. Our fashion spread that we do every issue, I don't think people realize how much work goes into that. It's hours and hours and hours of work before the camera even gets picked up, and that's people really enjoy it. It's a great part of the magazine, and it's another thing that really differentiates us. Photography, we try to include big, beautiful photos as much as we can in the magazine, because it's a lot about the writing, but it's also about the photography. If the photography's not captivating, people aren't really going to read the article, I don't think. We we have the largest distribution of all the local publications, so we print more copies. We have a wider distribution as well, available in more locations. And it's really, every issue is a piece of art. Like I said earlier, like it really is. We treat it like a piece of art, and every time we're trying to make it better and better, and I think that's evident in the product that we're producing.
That's all very good, very good. You've answered several of my questions already. Creating every issue's grueling process. What keeps you motivated and inspired?
Grueling, yes, at times. But when you love what you do, you don't really see it that way. Sure, when we're in our last 2 weeks of production and everybody's got their nose to the grinder, it's challenging. But what keeps us going is it's fun. We get to produce something that didn't exist before. So, and when you put it in that type of context, you're really, like I said, you're producing a piece of art, and it's a lot of fun putting it together. Sometimes it's challenging, chasing down stories or artwork or whatever it is, but that's all part of the processing, like all part of the production of putting a magazine together. When it's sent off to the printer, well, it's definitely like the weight is off your shoulders. Usually at that point, like we've had a few lunches in here or late night dinners as we're cramming to get it all together. Yeah, it's a euphoric feeling when it goes to the printer, for sure. But then you get what we call magmares. So, the few days after, you wake up in the middle of the night thinking, oh, did we do this right? Or did we mention that? Or, oh, I forgot to do this. And that's all part of it. Because until that week and a half, until you get it back, that you're just like, oh, hopefully we didn't make too many mistakes. But going to the printers, it's the weight off your shoulders. Then the big one is, like, for me, it's like as soon as it goes to the printer, it's like, what's next? How are we going to beat this one? What are we going to do the next issue? So it's always just kind of my favorite section as a reader. We always do something outdoor related, and I'm a pretty outdoorsy person, whether it's skiing or biking or hiking. So for me, putting those parts together of the magazine are my favorite. And as a reader, that's, it's great because you have so many options, and the photography is always beautiful and fun to shoot. So that's definitely my favorite part of it. It's free to pick up. We are 100% get our revenue from advertising, and we distribute 25,000 copies per issue for a total of 100,000 copies annually. And we distribute from Creemore to Collingwood, Stayner, the Blue Mountains, to Owen Sound, to Kincardine, Southampton, and up the Bruce Peninsula. Well, right off the bat is our distribution numbers are larger than anyone else. So if you want more eyes on your ad, that's one of the first things you need to look at. Secondly, it's the staying power of Escarpment Magazine. It because of our beautiful artwork on the cover and all the amazing things that we do inside the magazine, Escarpment stays on coffee table books. Like, people want to have that on their coffee table book, and it's a conversation piece. So in that way, people aren't just going to flip through it once and put it in the recycle bin. It's going to stay there, and it's going to be viewed by multiple people in a household. COVID's been challenging. When we were putting together our spring issue, we were going to press at the end of March. So COVID things locked down, I think it was on the 14th of March. We went remote. So I stayed here in the office because my internet's so lousy at home, and the rest of the team were at their homes. And so that was challenging, especially we just brought on Susan Meingast as our creative director. So doing it remotely was definitely a challenge, but she was great. She was up to the task, and we put it together. We were worried about distribution and how it was going to get out to people with everything closed. So we took the step of mailing 10,000 copies, which is that's about $1.10 a copy to mail out. So that was $10,000 right off the top for for our bottom line. But we owed it to our advertisers to get it out there, and it was pretty successful, and people really appreciated that. And then the rest of our distribution, we were able to get in locations that remained open. The summer issue, we lost most of our retail advertisers because they've been closed for 2-3 months, and basically all of our restaurant advertisers, because the same thing, they were all closed. And so that was a big chunk of our advertising, to lose those businesses. And we did everything we could to help support everyone who was remaining open, including on our website, we were compiling a list of all the businesses in the area. We opened it to everybody, like, hey, send us your info, we'll put it on our website. We're sharing it via social media to try and help get the word out of what businesses are doing, and do our part to help give back to all the businesses that have supported us through the years. And definitely we had a smaller issue in the summer because of COVID, just a lack of advertising, but we still produced a beautiful magazine, and it was still successful. And then and for the fall, we've bounced back mostly. It's been great to see a lot of retail coming back on board again. Restaurants are still hurting, struggling, so we still are missing a lot of our restaurateur friends, but we hope that we'll see them again soon. So in every issue, we donate ad space to different charities, and I don't think people might realize that when you look at something, but so BVO, Beaver Valley Outreach, we give them an ad in every single issue, and we give them editorial whenever possible. There are a few other charities through the years that approach us, and if we're able to give them ad space as a way of helping out, we definitely do. And then also we make donations, so whether it's the Collingwood Hospital Foundation or Special Olympics Ontario, we really try to do our part to help out local charities in the community. When I first found this location, that was absolutely, we want to do that. One of the biggest hurdles, as you know, is getting enough artwork into a place to make it interesting, right? To make it worthwhile for someone to come in and have a look around. We do still want to do that. COVID kind of put things on hold, but definitely that's something in our future that we will open up. And people still can come in and walk around and look at the artwork. We've got price tags on a lot of things, but it's not something that we actively push or promote. But being in Artsburg, it's a natural fit.
How can people find you?
Well, you can find us on social media, Escarpment Magazine. You can find us downtown Clarksburg. Come drop by our office anytime. We're here Monday to Friday. Our magazine is everywhere throughout the region, so pick up a copy and go through it. Our website, escarpmentmagazine.ca, has a lot of our back issues available digitally, as well as most of our articles in a HTML format as well, so they're shareable. Here we are, we're in Clarksburg. Come see us.